I never thought of it as a career opportunity until I was actually in college. I went to UMass Amherst. In my sophomore year, I took an entomology class, and it was just like, oh, that's perfect. So I just went from there, started taking bug classes and stuff like that, and I eventually ended up here at Magic Wings Butterfly Conservatory working with, butterflies and caterpillars and lizards and walking sticks and all that stuff, so it's a lot of fun. This is Rupert. He's a veiled chameleon. They're from the Middle East, like Yemen and Saudi Arabia. They're not the friendliest lizards. We don't really take him out much. They get stressed out really easily, but he's really neat. Check out his toes and his eyes. I started right out of college. I was probably 21 or 22 maybe, and I've been here ever since, about 4 years, but it's just a good fit. I work in the conservatory with people and talking to the public, which I also love, especially when I can talk about something that I'm really passionate about. And everybody that's here is generally really happy and excited to, talk and learn. So, this is Sugar and Spice. They're bearded dragons. Here's Sugar, her beauty. She's about 2 years old. These are just the friendliest, most mellow lizards you'll ever see. Studying entomology was really interesting because there's so many different kinds of bugs and they all have different stories. Like everybody knows about how butterflies start as caterpillars and make the chrysalis and turn into a butterfly, and that's beautiful and magical, but nobody thinks it's magical when a maggot turns into a fly, or when a beetle turns into, a grub turns into a beetle. Or there's some dragonflies that live underwater for 7 years before they crawl out and shed their skin and turn into dragonflies. So there's just so many different things, and it's always different and exciting. Plus get to, run out in the fields with butterfly nets and do insect collections and stuff like that. So I had a blast studying entomology. This is an Australian walking stick. She's actually really soft on the side of her abdomen. This one is actually an endangered species from Australia called a Cairns birdwing. Looks hand-painted, doesn't it? Working at Magic Wings is being able to educate other people about insects and butterflies and kind of dispelling different myths about insects all being bad, and just being able to share what I love with other people. This is a butterfly feeder. We put them up because we have anywhere between 3,500 and 4,000 butterflies at any given time. So it's just a supplemental food source. We fill them with sugar water, just similar to nectar, and there's a butterfly drinking from it. I'd say the biggest challenge that I faced is kind of battling with people that thought that, it wasn't a good career choice, and, what are you going to do with going to school for entomology? What can you possibly do with entomology? But you would really be surprised with how many jobs there are in different areas, be it a butterfly conservatory or integrated pest management. There's a lot out there, but if you're not looking, then you don't know about it. So this is where all the butterflies hatch. See, all the chrysalis are just pinned on these boards. We raise about 50 to 70% here out in the back greenhouses. So everything on this side we raised here, and the top of this board we also raised. And then the rest we actually get shipments from all over the world. We get them from Costa Rica, the Philippines, Australia, Africa. And they'll send them as the pupa. They'll just send us a big box full of chrysalis. Then we have to take them all out and put a pin through each little piece of silk and hang them on the board. I do. My advice for young people looking for something they want to do is do what you love. Like, if there's something that really interests you, there's probably a job out there that suits it. Like, I never would have imagined that insects could have been like a career. It's just something that I liked, but my dad wanted me to be an engineer or something like that. But for every interest, there's a job that suits it. So do what you love, because that's what's going to make you happy.